Good morning, everyone. Hi, my name is Amit Grover, and I'm super excited to welcome for a very interesting session on money, investments, and personal finance. The name of the topic is Mission Mars. I'm sure many of you might be thinking, why have we kept the name Mission Mars? In fact, you would say it's space, and we're talking about money, how they both are connected. The beauty is, when I was thinking about this subject 5 years back, something interesting was happening. India was the first country to reach Mars in first attempt, and very inspiring event. And at the same time, there was so much noise, news, and it's quite possible that space travel is going to be very common. People like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and so many people are all talking about conquering space. That inspired me and thought, let me build a very interesting session about money and investments for the young minds to understand and deal with this subject. The question is, why are we even thinking about money? I'm sure a lot of you might be thinking, money, investments, that's for parents, that's for adults. Why should we discuss about it? Isn't it their job to talk about money and investments? Yes, parents take a big role when it comes to money and investments. But remember, the world's richest investor, the world's biggest investor, Warren Buffett, he started investing at the age of 11. So if in case, even you, all of you, want to become an amazing investor, it's extremely important to start learning about this subject at a very young age. The reason why we are also motivated to talk about this subject, because unfortunately, this subject is missing from the school curriculum. Look at the various subjects which have been taught. I've got a 13-year-old son. Even when I talk to him, there are many subjects on languages, history, English. There are subjects on maths, science. Today's kids are also learning AI, ChatGPT, and various other apps over there. But when you look at the curriculum, money and investments is still missing. So we thought, why can't we teach this subject in a fun, interesting way so that you get the basic principles, the ABCD of investing in a very interesting way. So let's start this subject and let's try to understand what money and investment is all about. So for this, as a group, we will all go for a mission which is called as Mission Mars. This batch is lucky. This batch is also very fortunate because your parents have allowed you for going for this mission which is called Mission Mars. It's going to be a 10 days challenge over there, and in that 10-day challenge, I will ask you many questions which are related to money and water. The live chat box is open. I would request all the participants to give me emojis like a thumbs up, thumbs down, and when I ask you a question, please give me all your answers, and based on your answers, we will try to navigate all the challenges and try to understand about money and investments in general. You have already reached Mars. You're on the space station and you have just landed on Mars. And the moment you land on Mars, you realize it's a 10-day trip and water is going to be an extremely rare resource over here. Now let's start with the first challenge. You have landed on Mars as a group. We are all students, all children over here, and we are basically facing the first problem. We have been told predominantly it's going to be a 10-day trip and we will get water only for 5 days. The remaining 5 days, the rest of the 5 days, we will get no water. Every day, we will just get 2 water bottles per day. So a simple maths, 2 water bottles per day for 5 days, and the remaining 5 days we get no water. A simple, basic question to all of you, and you can please put your answers in the chat box. How much water will you consume every day? Let me try to see answers what you are giving me in the chat box. Okay, interesting. A lot of you are answering 1 bottle per day, which is very nice. Okay. Okay. So many of you are answering, basically your answer is quite common. you are saying that you will consume 1 bottle per day, which many of you might think it's such a basic question. Why are even we discussing about this? It's simple maths. It's in fact kindergarten maths. Yes, you are right. You will consume 1 bottle per day because the maths goes like this. You get 2 water bottles per day for 5 days, 10 water bottles, you consume 1 bottle per day. So 10 days, you can easily manage the trip. But let's try to understand what are the big money mistakes and what lessons we can learn from this example when it comes to money in general. If I look at my life, and if in case we look at life of majority of the people, we can divide life into 3 parts. The first 25 years of my life is when I was studying. My parents helped me do my engineering, my MBA. That's when I was learning all the skills. The next 25 to 30 years of my life is when actually I will earn money. So from the age of 25 till maybe the age of 55, 60, these 30-35 years I will make money. And then the last 25-30 years of my life, I will again be retired, I will not be making money. So in a very simple sense, I can divide my life into 3 parts. First 25 years, 0 income. Second half, I make income. And the last part is when again I make no income. So a simple logic, if I ask all of you, from what age should all of us, or what age should I have started investing and saving? Okay, what would be the answers? And if in case, if possible, can you please put your answers in the chat box? Okay, I can see some interesting answers. A lot of you are saying that you should start saving right from a very early age. Some of you are even answering that you should start and investing as early as possible. Some of you are even saying that you should start saving from the day you start earning money, and all answers are right. What you said is absolutely right. You should start saving and investing actually from the money example, the water example, what you understood. You should start saving and investing right from your first salary. Seems very logical, seems very basic, but let me tell you why this question seems very basic, but what happens in real life. After the session gets over, which approximately is going to be 1 hour, I would request all of you to go on YouTube and watch a video called as Marshmallow Experiment. This experiment was done somewhere in 1980s. This experiment was done on kids in the age bracket of 8 to 12 years. We all of us know that marshmallow is something which is very sweet, absolutely amazing when you eat and have marshmallow. So the experiment was something like this. A marshmallow was kept in front of a person, a child, and the child was told, wait for 15 minutes and you will get 2 marshmallows. I'm sure if this experiment is done with you and someone asked you, wait for 15 minutes and you will get 2 marshmallows, I'm very sure all of you will say, we will wait for 15 minutes and we'll take those 2 marshmallows. But you will be surprised when you watch the video on YouTube. You will realize that majority of the children were actually not able to wait for 15 minutes because the temptation was so high that they thought, you know what, let me have the marshmallow right now. Okay, who waits for 15 minutes? And actually, the similar thing happened with me when actually I did my engineering, I did my MBA, I got my first job. Like you said, you should start saving and investing from the first day you get your salary. But you know what happened with me? I thought saving and investing can happen later. Let me buy a new mobile phone. And then I thought, let me buy some new clothes. And then let me buy and go for an amazing vacation. Let me buy a 2-wheeler. And then when I got married, I thought, let me have a good, amazing wedding. And let me spend some money over there. And then maybe buying a car. So what happened? Unfortunately, like a marshmallow experiment, I thought I knew that saving and investing is important. But what happened, because of the temptations, I forgot about it. So the first challenge and first learning from the challenge is that we have to actually plan and we have to stick to our plan, because many of us know that we just need 1 water bottle per day. But what happens in real life? Unfortunately, we forget that maths. We have decided 1 water bottle per day. we should stick to the idea of 1 water bottle per day. If all of you have understood this first challenge, I would request all of you to give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Okay, I can see many thumbs ups in the chat box. Let me go to the second challenge. Now, as we progress, you will have new challenges, and in every challenge you will learn something interesting, and everything interesting about money and investments. Now, in the second challenge, what happens? All of us as a group, we are smart, we are intelligent, we figured out we'll consume 1 water bottle per day, and that's how we'll survive for the next 10 days. But what happens is that we see a lot of kids, we see many children having 2 to 3 water bottles per day. Some are even having 4 water bottles per day. Some children are even wasting water. And we are thinking we are just consuming 1 water bottle per day. So what do you think? As children, all of us, we are in Mars, what should we do? Should we stick to our plan of having 1 bottle per day? Or should we make changes because others are consuming more water? Should we consume more water? If you've got the question, can you give me your answers in the chat box? I can see some interesting answers in the chat box. A lot of you are saying that, okay, we should stick to our plan. We should stick to 1 bottle per day. But I can also see some answers where children are saying, if others are having more water bottle, if somebody is consuming 2 water bottles or 3 water bottles, then even we should consume more. Some of you are even telling me that we should go and tell other children not to consume too much water and maybe even not waste water. Interesting answers, but majority of you are telling me that we should stick to our plan. And I think, and I agree to majority of you who are telling me that we should actually stick to our plan. Absolutely important. Let's try to understand this from life, from money, and from investments. Always understand, when we grow up, when we do our business, when we get a job, when we start making money, life will give us different water bottles. Some people, some children, when you grow up, you will make a lot of money. Some people will take time. So everybody will get different water bottles in life. And at the same time, today, even our parents have got different water bottles. It's quite possible that some children's parents have got more water bottle, and some children's parents have got less water bottle, and some parents are even struggling with even bare minimum water. The idea which all of us have to understand, that life gives you different water bottle. So the planning for each of us has to be absolutely very unique. We have to make our own plan. And second thing is, we have to stick to our plan. Just because somebody is consuming more water bottle, it's quite possible those kids might have got 4 water bottles or 5 water bottles, okay, and that's why their planning is different. We have to stick to our own plan, and our plan was having 1 water bottle per day. And sometimes we forget this. We see that, you know what, our friends have gone maybe for an amazing vacation, maybe they have bought a new bicycle, okay, or they have brought something interesting in school or college, and we say, Mom, Dad, my friend is going for an amazing vacation, why are you not sending me? And sometimes we start blaming our parents without realizing that basically life gives different water bottles to everyone. They are doing their best based on their planning to give you the best education and the best things what life can offer. So planning for all parents will also be different. In fact, I always feel that children should be wise when it comes to money and investing. They should in fact go a step forward and tell their parents, Dad, Mom, can we afford this? And sometimes when parents make mistakes when it comes to saving, investing, they should actually go a step forward and have discussion and tell our parents also, Dad, Mom, I think we should not be spending much money on this. The idea is we have to make a plan, we have to stick to a plan. And children can play a very big role in the entire process. Now, if you have understood the first and the second challenge, the third challenge becomes even more interesting, and this challenge will explain you about a very important principle. So what happens, we all know water is extremely precious. We all know that there is a zero chance that we can misplace our water bottle. How will I survive, or how will all of us survive? But the good part is that there is a friendly dog on Mars, and you meet the friendly dog and he tells you, don't worry, if in case you misplace your water bottles, or if somebody takes your water bottles, you don't have to worry. You can just let me know and I will get those water bottles for you. That's an amazing thought. If you misplace your water bottles, okay, the dog will get it for you. If somebody steals your water bottle, this friendly dog will get the water bottles. But there is a problem. You will have to give a sip of water every day to the dog. Now the problem is that water is precious. This water was only for us. Out of that water, we have to give him a sip of water. So it's quite possible that we might not lose our water bottles, but still we'll have to give a sip. Now think about this challenge. Think about it. What will you do? Will you keep the dog? Or you will say, you know what, I don't need a dog because I'll have to give a sip of water. I will say, I'll take care of my water and I don't need anyone's help. What answers do you have? Please put all your answers in the chat box. Okay, I can see some amazing answers. A lot of you are saying that you will keep the dog. But I can see also few answers where someone says that maybe you don't require the dog because you think water is precious, and what if we don't misplace our water bottle, then that sip will go waste. And I can see majority of you saying that you will actually keep the dog. Actually, it makes sense. It makes logical sense to actually have a dog and give him a sip of water every day. You might ask why. Think about it like a very simple but a very powerful concept which is called as insurance. What is insurance? And I'll give you some practical examples which I apply in my real life. I have a term insurance. We all know life is uncertain. What if something happens to my life? Who takes care of my family? Who takes care of my child? Okay, we all have got financial needs. The idea is I have taken a term insurance. I pay a premium every year, which I have been doing for the last 20 years. One might argue, why am I paying this premium? Nothing has happened to me. It's like giving a sip. What if something happens? My family is financially secure. At the same time, I love my car. I drive it very safely, but can I have an accident? Obviously, I can have an accident. And if something happens to my car, there's going to be a big expense. How will I take care of it? I've got a car insurance. Similarly, I also have a health insurance. A health insurance where I pay a premium. Thankfully, I never had to use it, but I still have a health insurance for myself, for my family, for my wife, for my kid, for my mother. We have a health insurance. So the first thing is, wherever you see risk, buy insurance. It's like giving a sip of water to the dog and you are managing a big risk. You will be surprised. You will be surprised when you talk to elders. Many of them have not taken term insurance. They think, what will happen? Nothing will happen. We are fit, fine. Problems are only for others. One has to manage money. One has to manage risk and always take a term insurance. Always take a health insurance. Always take a car insurance. And maybe you are traveling abroad. It's also important to take a travel insurance. So if you have understood this, if you have understood the example of insurance by using the analogy of water and dog, let's move to the next challenge. If you are understanding this session, can you give me a thumbs up in the chat box? Okay, I can see many thumbs up. Thanks for your feedback. Now, as we further progress, the challenges become even more interesting, and personally this is my favorite challenge. And the reason why I say it's my favorite challenge, because predominantly this will not just help you with money and investment, but it will help you to take many decisions when it comes to life in general. We all know water is precious, and as we are walking, we see something very interesting. We see there is a person who is standing and there are many kids surrounded over there, and this person is making a promise. please give me one water bottle, and I'm telling you, I'm promising you, I will give you 3 water bottles next day. He's talking about these promises, and there are many kids who are surrounding him. And at the same time, there are some kids saying, you know what, this person is very nice, I trust him. Yesterday I gave my 1 water bottle, today look at it, I've got 3 water bottles. So there are many kids who are saying they got 3 water bottles. Now the challenge goes something like this. So as a group, we reach over there and we realize that this person is making a promise. Many children are over there. Some children are even saying that we received 3 water bottles. What should we do? Should we say, okay, we don't trust this guy, we don't know what he's going to do, we will not give him any water bottles? Or we might give him few of our water bottles. We might give him 1 water bottle, 2 water bottles, or maybe all our water bottle because he's making a promise. Think about it and please put all your answers in the chat box. Wow. Okay, so the first answer which I can see, I can try with 1 water bottle. That's interesting. Many of you are saying that you will not give any water bottle. He's a fraud. He might run away with your water bottles. Someone is saying Ponzi, Hera Fairy. Okay, some interesting answers. Some might say, I know he's a fraud, but I won't mind giving him 1 water bottle. Okay, but majority of you are telling me that you will not give your water bottle. And that's absolutely right. This is a very important principle when it comes to investing, money, and life in general. Anyone who makes tall claims, you have to be a skeptical person. Just a thought. If someone says, join my cricketing academy, I will make you, okay, the finest cricketer, okay, in just matter of 1 month, you have to be very skeptical about it. In fact, it reminds me of a very interesting story. In fact, not a story, but actually happened in real life. Okay, it's around 7 to 8 years back. Someone gave full page ad in newspapers and he was coming on TV, television, media, even on radio, and he was promising that just give me 500 rupees or 250 rupees or 1000 rupees and I will give you smartphones. Initially, people thought, how is it possible to get a smart mobile phone in just 250 rupees or 500 rupees? But then some people tried, or maybe he was lying that some people tried. He started giving ads. See, I've already started dispatching mobile phones and people are getting smartphones in 250 rupees. I've got a magical manufacturing plant and I'm basically reducing it for our country people. A lot of people got excited. They thought everybody is getting smartphones at 250 rupees and 500 rupees. We saw thousands and lakhs of people actually giving their hard-earned money because all of them wanted smartphone. Now, I'm very sure you know the answer, how the story would have ended. That person who made all those false promises took the money and ran away. So always be skeptical in life when it comes to money and investing. Anyone who promises you any high returns, always be skeptical about it. It's quite possible that it might be a fraud, which in finance we say a Ponzi scheme. Be very wary of that. Always make sure that anyone who makes false promises, stay away from such people. If you have understood this challenge, can you give me a thumbs up in the chat box? Okay, thanks for your feedback. A lot of thumbs ups, and that takes me to the next challenge. This is one challenge which actually will teach you about an asset class which is called as equity. But to explain equity as an asset class, I would request all of you to just maybe, if in case you have already thought about it, what are your aspirations? What do you want to do when you grow up? Okay, even if you say I have not thought about it, that's fine. In fact, majority of us actually, if I look at my life when I was in class 6th, 7th, 8th, even I was not sure what I will do. But yes, I always thought when I grow up, I'll be a playwright. I will make my own movie. That dream is still alive, but that's something which I used to think when I was your age. Okay, I can see some interesting answer. Pilot, somebody wants to be an entrepreneur, cricketer. Okay, write a book, that's interesting, an architect, a painter, starting a business, wow, a petroleum engineer. So we have a lot of participants who are giving interesting answers. Somebody wants to be a cricketer, maybe he will grow up and start his cricketing academy. Somebody wants to be an architect, maybe he'll build amazing buildings. Somebody wants to be an engineer, he will start with many manufacturing plant. Somebody will do a lawyer, he or she will have a law firm. Somebody wants to be a scientist, you will have your own R&D factory over there. So all of you will start amazing businesses, okay? Somebody will start in IT, somebody will start in AI, somebody will make manufacturing plants, somebody will do something in pharmaceuticals. All of you are absolutely amazing. You have got amazing business ideas. Now a simple thought. All of you have got amazing businesses. You will do very well, okay? And you will grow over a period of time. And I'm sure as you grow, you will make a lot of money. A simple thought. Even if I want to become rich, like all of you, okay, because you are starting businesses, what should I do? Don't tell me, even I should start my business, I should have an idea. Right now, I don't have any idea. I work with HDFC mutual fund, I get my salary, okay. I'm making my basic income, but I want to become rich like all of you because you will grow up and become businessmen, entrepreneurs and businesswomen when you grow up. You will have amazing businesses. Even I want to become rich like all of you. What should I do? I can see some answers like stocks, equity. Okay, forget about that. The answer is very simple and very interesting. What if I start investing into your businesses? What if I start investing into that pharma business which you have? What if I start investing in that IT company which you have? What if I invest into that oil and gas company which you are thinking about building? What if I invest into that real estate company which you are going to build? What if I start and invest into that media house which you want to start? What if I invest, okay, in your restaurant because you want to be an amazing chef? So if I invest into so many businesses, and as all of you are growing and you are doing well, and I'm an investor into your business, practically even I grow, because as your business grows, I am an investor into your business, even my money grows. And this, my friends, is a very simple example which is called as equity, or what is called as stock. In equity and stock, you basically invest into that business, and as the business grows, even you make money. But you have to also understand there is a lot of risk when you invest into businesses. Let's start with a very basic risk. Should I invest all my money into just one business? And I'm very sure all of you will say that's a stupid idea, that's a wrong idea. You should not put all your money into one business. Put your money into many businesses. That's a fundamental principle of investing, which we call as diversification. I know it's a technical word, diversification, but in a very simple terms, it means that don't put all your money into one business, put your money into many businesses. And that's what I do. In fact, if I ask you a very simple, interesting question, all the products which you actually consume on a daily basis, these are companies, these are businesses. Think about it. Even the sharpener which you use, even something which you use to stick, the shoes which you wear, the toothpaste which you use, the paint which we have in the wall. When you fall sick, okay, because of maybe some people are having a bad throat, next time look at which company is manufacturing that cough syrup, or when you're having those medicines. When you are making a mobile phone, look at the companies, okay, which are providing with the network. When you travel by a car or a two-wheeler, look at the companies which are there. When you put fuel in your car, look at the companies which are there. When you go to your favorite shopping store and buy all those products, look at the brands, look at the companies. These are all companies. The beauty is we can invest into so many companies. As a country is growing, these companies are growing. The point which we have to understand, investing into these companies are called as equity investment. And at the same time, we should not put all our money into one business. We should put our money into many businesses. That is called as diversification. Now, once you have understood equity, I'll talk about an index which is called as Sensex. And that's just for an example. What is Sensex? Sensex in a very simple terms means India's top 30 companies. If you combine them together, they are called as Sensex. Obviously, the top 30 companies keep on changing, but when you invest into broad Sensex, okay, and there is the top 50 companies, there is an index called as Nifty 50 also, and that's just as an example. The beauty is I have shown two charts, okay, two lines over there. The journey of Sensex, you will realize, which is a blue line, it's not a straight line. A lot of people think that when you invest, your journey is going to be a straight line. Actually, it is never a straight line. If you look at the journey, in the slide you will see that there are periods when the Sensex value is going down, or you can say it's going in a loss. You invested money, the value is going in a loss. And you might feel worried, oh God, I invested money, okay, and the money is going down, and that's fine. That's the journey of investments. There will be ups and downs. So it's quite possible that you might have losses initially, and then the value starts going up. And then after some time, again you might see a drop in the value of Sensex, and again it starts rising, and then again it falls, and again it rises. What you will try to understand, and I'll just give you an example, just 5 years back, when COVID took place, okay, during March 2020, okay, what happened? Many businesses had challenges, and Sensex started correcting. And then soon after that, things became normal and the market started moving up. So one has to understand the journey of Sensex is generally full of ups and downs. But also, if you are investing for long term, when we say long, we mean 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. When you are investing for long term, this journey generally is towards the upward side. So if you're investing in Sensex is just an example. If you're investing in companies, if you're investing in a lot of businesses, your horizon has to be long term. When I say horizon, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Remember, I started this session by talking about Warren Buffett. He started investing at the age of 11. Today, his age is around 92, 93 years. So for 80 years, he has been investing. His time horizon, his journey has been 80 years. And in spite of 80 years of journey, once he was asked, do you have any regrets in life? And you know what he said? I have a regret. I wish I would have started early. That clearly means that your horizon of investing, when it comes to equity and businesses, you should think about 15, 20, 30, 40 years. That's how your money grows. But you also have to understand that the journey goes through ups and downs. This is what is called as equity. Now we have a second asset class or second investment idea, which is called as fixed income. What is fixed income? Similar example, you are also giving money to businesses over here, so many businesses, but over here, what you are doing is you are giving them money, and the company is promising they will return the money back to you, and they will also give you an interest. This is called as bond. So when you invest in many bonds, you basically build a fixed income portfolio. What is the advantage of investing in fixed income? It's safe, not completely safe, it's relatively safe, but the beauty is that the value grows slowly and gradually. You won't see much ups and downs. In fact, you will see very low ups and downs, but the beauty is that the money will grow slowly and gradually, upwards but slowly and gradually. Now, since you can see both the charts, how do I use both the charts for actually deciding and investing for myself? So what I do is, I've got a 13-year-old son. So for him, for his higher education, because obviously I've got two important goals. First is my retirement. One day I'm going to retire, maybe at age 55, 60, 65. I am not sure about it, but one day I'll retire. And when I retire, I will need a lot of money. So first I'm investing for my retirement. That money mostly is going into equity. Why? Because I've got 15, 20 years for that investment. Similarly, what I'm saving and investing for my child's higher education, because that money I might require after 10, 15 years, 10 years now because he's 13. So that money I'm putting into equity. But the money which I require for short needs, like for example, I have to go for a vacation or I have to pay my son's annual fees, that money I want it very safe. That money I keep it in fixed income because I don't want any ups and downs on the money which I need after 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. That money has to be safe, but the money which I require for long term, like 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, I generally put it in equity. I hope you understood the journey of both equity and fixed income. Equity will go through ups and downs, but yes, in the long term, it can possibly do very well. Fixed income grows slowly and gradually. Think about it like a hare and a tortoise example. The rabbit will run very fast, but will go through ups and downs. And over here, the tortoise goes slowly and gradually. Generally, we always say the best idea is to combine both of them. Have equity also in your portfolio and also have fixed income, and that's how you create a winning combination. Now, once you have understood the journey of it, now I'll explain you what is mutual funds. Out of all the participants, I can see a name called as Urmila. So I'm just taking one person as an example. So we are a batch of around, let's say, 500 of us. And we have got one participant, Urmila. She's the smartest. She has a good understanding of all the companies. Okay, she loves to research about all the companies. That's her core job. Okay, she's fascinated by the ideas, which companies are doing well, which companies are not doing well, how they are producing goods, what profits they will make. Okay, and all of us, we are very busy in our life. Okay, we are busy with our jobs, we are busy with our businesses. But there's Urmila. She loves finding and doing all the research. Now, we also want to invest into amazing companies like Urmila, but we don't have the time. We don't also have the knowledge. We don't even like doing all the research. So what we can do is, we can call up Urmila and we can say, Urmila, can you do a help for us? Can you invest because you are an expert in doing this? And this is what mutual funds are all about. In a mutual fund, there is a mutual fund company, there is a fund manager. A fund manager is like a captain of a cricket team, and then he has all the players which are called as analysts. So a fund manager and all the analysts together, they do research in all the companies, and out of all the companies, they will do the research and they will try to find the best combination of companies which will do well. Like in the picture, you can see so many companies. We don't know which company to invest. So a fund manager will do the research, the entire team will do the research, and they will start investing. How does it benefit all of us? We can actually trust this mutual fund company, the fund manager and the entire team. So people like you, so right now I can see thousands of participants. Let's say all of us give money and we trust the mutual fund manager and the mutual fund company. We give the money to a mutual fund manager and the company. They do all the research and then they will try their level best to grow the money over a longer period of time. This is what is called as mutual fund. A mutual fund provides professional advice. They do the research and they try very hard to grow the money over a period of time. Like in this example, we can see so many companies. Not all of them might be a good investment. So a fund manager will try to find the good companies and he will try to invest in them. So once you have understood this idea, can you please give me a thumbs up if you have understood both the examples of equity, the journey of equity, the journey of fixed income, and also the concept of mutual funds. If you have understood, can you please give me a thumbs up in the chat box? Thank you. So I can see a lot of feedback from your side, a lot of thumbs up. Okay, so let's move to a very interesting example. And trust me, if you have understood this example, you can play a very big role, a very large role, even helping your parents deal with investments, because in investments you make a lot of mistakes, and I'm sure with this example you will play a very critical role in actually providing the emotional support to manage investments with your parents. Now, before I go to the challenge, I would ask you a very basic and a fundamental question, which I'm sure will have mixed response. How many of you actually believe in aliens? If you believe in aliens, give me a thumbs up. Or maybe you can say a yes if in case you believe in aliens, and if in case you don't believe in aliens, say no. If you believe in aliens, yes, then give me an answer. If in case in the chat box, if in case you can give me an answer. And if you don't believe in aliens, maybe you can write why you don't believe in aliens. Okay. So I can see Sandeep saying yes, I believe in aliens. Okay. Urmila is saying not me. Anita is saying not me. Okay. So I was very sure the class will be divided. Many of you will say you believe in aliens, and many of you will say I don't believe in aliens. And I can see few answers. One person saying the reason why he believes in aliens because he believes that this universe is very large. So if life exists on Earth, I'm sure there might be life existing in some other planet or galaxy. And I can see some answer where people are saying no, where they are saying that we have not seen aliens. So if you have not seen, we don't believe in it. And both of you are right. Okay. But what happens on Mars is that actually you see aliens. You are working, you are having a good time, and suddenly you see aliens over here. But these aliens are very interesting and very unique aliens. Generally, when we watch movies, we have always been taught or told that aliens are bad. They will destroy our Earth. They are bad for the universe. They are bad for the galaxy. But actually, you find out these aliens are very nice. They are extremely friendly. They are extremely friendly. In fact, they are very friendly, and you have made friends with them, but they have a problem. They are very emotional. They are extremely emotional. So when they get happy, they get extremely happy, and when they get sad, they start crying. So this is what their behavior is. So what they have also started doing, they have also started investing in Indian equity markets and Indian Sensex, okay, Indian companies. But the problem is, they are investing, which is very good. But the problem is, when they are investing, they are making a big mistake. Since they are very emotional, so what happens when the market goes up? I just showed you the journey. In the journey, you have ups and downs. So when the Sensex goes up, when the market generally goes up, they feel extremely happy. They start dancing, they start enjoying, and they start investing when the markets are going up. Okay, because they are extremely emotional. They are feeling happy because markets are going up, and they start investing. But the problem is, the moment market starts going down, they are extremely emotional, they start crying. They get absolutely, they feel very bad about it, they start crying, and when the market goes down, after crying, they start removing the money in a loss, because they are very extremely emotional. Again, when market starts moving up and the market has gone up, they start dancing and they start celebrating and they start investing once again. And they repeat the same thing. When markets go down, they start crying and they start removing the money in a loss. Now, you are friends with these aliens and they need good advice. Think about it. What advice or what suggestion will you give to these friendly aliens, because you want them to be happy and you want them that their money should grow? What advice will you give them? Please put your answers in the chat box. Okay, I can see some interesting answers. We will tell the aliens not to invest. Okay, no, that can also be an advice, but let's give an advice so that they can make money. Okay, so I can see a very interesting answer over here. We'll tell the aliens to be patient. We will tell them to be disciplined, and we will tell the aliens don't get too emotional about the whole drama. That's a very interesting advice. So I can also see an answer. We'll tell the aliens that when markets go down, you should invest more money. That's also a very good, interesting advice. Don't remove your money when market goes through ups and downs. Just stay invested. Think long term. Interesting answer. So I can see amazing answers, but most of you are saying we'll tell the aliens to be patient. We'll tell the aliens to be disciplined. We'll tell the aliens to think long term. We'll tell the aliens to actually invest when markets are down and don't get too emotional about it. And one of you have given a very interesting answer. We'll tell the aliens don't do drama of getting too emotional. Okay, stick for long term. One interesting answer which I have also received, that we'll tell aliens put more money in fixed income because it goes without ups and downs. Interesting answer. The idea is you are right. We always think, you know what, others are emotional, these aliens are emotional, but actually we are also quite similar to these aliens. In fact, many times you will also see the same thing. Our parents also behave in a similar fashion. When markets go up, ask your parents how are they feeling. They'll say, wow, we are feeling very good. I invested so much money, the value has gone up, I'm feeling very happy. And the days and months when markets go down, even they start crying about it. They feel very bad about it. And unfortunately, there are times when they actually remove the money in a loss. Since all of you as children have understood the principle of ups and downs, it's your responsibility now to be part of the conversation and tell your parents, mom, dad, this money, this equity investment is for long term, for 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Why are you getting too emotional about these ups and downs? Why are you getting so happy when market goes up? And why do you get so sad when market goes down? Ups and downs are a part of the entire journey. So don't get too emotional about it. Let this money grow. And this is, trust me, many times children play a far bigger role in investing and helping their parents, because your minds have not got corrupted till now. Okay, that innocence is still there. You can play a very big role. And trust me, with your advice, your parents will actually learn from you. Be patient, be disciplined, and they will create amazing amount of money over a longer period of time. If all of you have understood the importance of managing your emotions with this alien example, can you please give me a thumbs up in the chat box? Interesting. I can see many thumbs ups, and I'm so happy with the likes and emojis which all of you are giving. Now let's come to the last challenge. And this challenge will actually teach you one of the most important principles when it comes to investing. In fact, I'm sure all of you are doing amazing in maths. You are learning so many formulas, but there is one formula which is called the eighth wonder of the world. It's called the formula of compounding, and this formula will actually help you solve the challenge number 7. The reason why this batch was selected for Mission Mars was for a particular objective. We wanted to actually make Mars green. That was the end objective, and that's why all of us got selected for this mission. We were all given a very interesting plant, and the size of the plant was only 0.5 feet. But it's a magical plant. The size of the plant doubles every day. So when we took this plant on Mars, we were told that you have to keep it in a particular place, and you have to make sure that this plant grows till the height of 100 feet in just 10 days. The question is, will all of us be able to achieve this challenge? The beauty is this plant doubles every day. So 0.5 will become 1, 1 will become 2. We have got 10 days. Do you think we can grow a plant, a tree which is approximately more than 100 feet in height? If yes, put in the chat box. If in case you think it's not possible, maybe you can write no. Wow. I can see most of you saying it's quite possible, and answer is yes. And you are right. This is basically what compounding is all about. See, I'm not promising basically in life and investment your money doubles. It's just an example. It is just to explain you that with discipline and time, with compounding, how things grow. How it happened in compounding over here, your 0.5 will become 1, 1 will become 2, 2 will become 4, 4 will become 8, 16, 32, 64, 128. In just matter of 8 days, your small plant of 0.5 feet has grown more than 100 feet. And this is what and how compounding looks like. A lot of you can start with small amount. Even if you are studying, you get pocket money, you can start with small investing. 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees. The beauty is compounding. Even that 1000 rupees, 2000 rupees, 5000 rupees or 10,000 rupees, after 15 years, 20 years, 30 years, will actually become a large sum of money. And how it will become? With the interesting principle which is called the eighth wonder of the world, which is called as compounding. If you understand this principle, Ideally, you should never say, I'm too young to actually start investing. You should say, actually, I have lost so many years. Today is the best day to start investing. So after the session gets over, maybe you can have a conversation with your parents and ask them, Dad, Mom, can I also start investing? Can I also have investments in mutual funds in my name? And can I keep this money for next 15, 20, 30, 40 years and allow my money to grow? Please have this conversation with your parents, and that's the objective of today's session. We'll bring you to the 8th challenge, and this is something which you should remember all your life. It's called SIP. The full form is Systematic Investment Plan. I can also call it Simple Investment Plan. You can keep it the way you can give different names of SIP. What is SIP? Investing a small amount of money every month, but on a disciplined fashion. In fact, SIP is not something new. We have been doing SIP in all our activities in life. We play every day, that's SIP in fun. We also have some entertainment and watch movies, that's SIP in entertainment. We do our studies every day, that's called SIP in education. Every day we learn something, and this learning grows and compounds. Doing something good on a daily basis, on a monthly basis is called as SIP. What is SIP? Investing on a monthly basis from a long-term perspective will help you grow your money. The best part about SIP is that when the markets are going down, you are still investing. When the markets are going up, you are still investing. So SIP is the smartest way to grow your money over a longer period of time. I'm assuming and I'm hoping that all of you, through this journey of Mission Mars, through this example of water, you are able to understand some important and critical principles when it came to money and investing in general. I will do a simple recap of all the things what we understood in the last 45 minutes. The first thing, plan and start early. You remember the water bottle example? A 10-day trip, you get water only for 5 days. The idea is you will get water only for 5 days. You get 2 water bottles. So remember that example. You have to plan and you have to start early. Planning is extremely important. Second challenge, if all of you remember, there were some kids who were having more water bottle, and we decided we will stick to our plan. They can do whatever they feel is right. We will stick to our plan and we will consume 1 water bottle per day. We went with our plan. So understand, life will give you different money at different points of time. We will stick to our own plan. Forget about what others are doing. Third thing, remember the dog example, giving him a sip of water every day? Insurance is a must. I have taken a term insurance. Wherever you see risk, ask your parents, Dad, Mom, do you have a good term insurance? Do you have a good health insurance? Do you take car insurance? And when we travel, do we also have a travel insurance? So whenever you see risk, talk about insurance. Fourth point, fixed income. It's safe. But the point is your money will not grow very fast. Your money will grow slowly and gradually. The advantage is there will be less ups and downs or very low ups and downs, but your money will grow slowly and gradually. So it has an advantage, very less ups and downs. Disadvantage, it will not grow very fast. You need to have fixed income in your portfolio. Equity and equity mutual funds. In equity mutual funds, yes, in the long term, you can make amazing money, but in the short term, the value can go through ups and downs. So you have to understand, you have to accept ups and downs are part of equity mutual fund journey. Remember the alien example? It's a very important example. It's an extremely important example. Manage your emotions. Markets will go through ups and downs. We don't have to be greedy when markets go up, and when markets go down, we don't have to cry. We have to manage our emotions in both ups and downs, and that's how our money will grow. We talked about the example of making our plant more than 100 feet, the example of compounding, 8th wonder of the world. The more time you give to your investments, the better your portfolio, the better your wealth will get created. Even small amount of money, if you give more time, your portfolio will do well, very well. And it's a important, in fact, sometimes I feel it's the most important mathematical formula which can help us grow our money. In fact, I feel in school, a special chapter should be dedicated only to money and only to the principle of compounding and how the money grows, because this is something which children should never forget in their life. And last but not the least, SIP. As children, and even when we grow up, we have to do a monthly SIP. It's a beautiful discipline of time, patience, and creating wealth over a longer period of time. There is something called as work, a homework. If you get time, go on YouTube and search for a video called as Secret Millionaire Club. You will see amazing videos of Warren Buffett. He has made around, I think, 20-25 videos. These are animated videos with children, animated characters and Warren Buffett, and every video will teach you one principle of investing and business. If you watch those videos, I'm sure you will get more insights about investing, more insights about business, and I'm sure you will be able to understand much more about money, investments, and personal finance. This is the homework. After the session gets over, whenever you get time, please watch them. These videos are entertaining, so consider them part of learning and at the same time of entertainment. A simple message to all of you: start early, start right now. The best day for starting your investment journey was yesterday. The second best day is today. So please start your investment journey right from today itself. I'm sure with this session you have understood and you had a fun time understanding about money, investing. This was like kindergarten stuff, the basics, but you have to put a lot of efforts. Talk to your parents, talk to maybe the advisor who manages money for your parents, the distributor who manages money for your parents. Have conversations with them, be part of the conversations, learn and try to be a lifelong learner. I'll just talk about one disclaimer which we always talk about mutual funds, that mutual funds are always subjected to market risk. You should always look at the risk and read the terms and conditions before every kind of investing. That's something you should always read, terms and conditions before investing. Thank you for all your time. Thank you all the children, the young minds, for taking time on a Saturday to engage with us on a very interesting journey which is called as Mission Mars. I'm sure it has inspired you to get more interested about this subject, and I'm sure with this more interest you will take charge of your money and also contribute with your ideas and advice and suggestions to your parents and help create wealth. Thank you and happy investing.
All scheme related documents carefully. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme related documents carefully. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risk.